Ready? That was a heck of an opening right there. I don't know if I can do any better opening than that right there. Hey guys, welcome to the BB Talk Show.
Can't open as well as that. Yeah. You're working on it.
I'll get there. I've been working on it. You know, when I first met you, I started my whole life, I worked on making my farts silent. So I could be in a room like this and fart left and right and no one would ever know. And then I met you guys, okay? And for the last 3 years...
It's about the enunciation.
Well, it was about sphincter control while being able to feel it and then push it down, get it to the right area without pooping yourself, which I almost did.
So we're like the American Idol and the voice of farts.
Basically, yeah, you elevated my game, and now I feel like I can at least take batting practice with you guys. I really do. So back to the BB Talk.
Should we restart this?
No. This is a great way to start it. This is the BB Talk Show, where we talk about a lot of things. And today, we are going to talk about some of our favorite memories from an MLB game. All right? We've got Frank Farts, Tiny Tim, JT, Jonathan Thomas, and Anthony Conte here for this. So,
And birds behind the sticks.
and we got birds behind the sticks in the underground elevator room, coined by Mike Abate. So I guess I'll start this. My favorite memory from an MLB game, I got a couple, but I think a little sappy here, but I was one of the coaches at St. Luke's High School for about 7 years, and one of the things that we do is go to spring training, and part of that trip is, we took the boys to a Braves game each year. And you get tickets for the Braves game, and it's really cool, a little inexpensive, but you're seeing spring training games, and we've got close to 30 kids with us and 3 coaches, and we just bleached our hair because it was Team Puerto Rico in the playoffs or in the World Baseball Classic, and the kids are rowdy and we're cheering and they're yelling. I don't even know what it was. Shot, I got Jake Dobbin, got Katie, Juan Velez, just rowdy the whole game, and trying to get themselves on TV and yelling and screaming and taking over the crowd, and we end up getting on the Jumbotron and they're just going nuts. Everybody around us is going nuts, and I'm worried that they're a little too rowdy, just private school, whatever, and we go to leave and some random person comes up to me and goes, "Are you in charge of these guys?" I'm like, "Oh shit, here we go." So I just want to let you know, this is one of the most well-mannered, behaved groups I've ever seen, a group of kids, and I was just, wow, that's pretty awesome, and here these kids are just, having fun, enjoying the game, being rowdy, but at the same time doing it the right way, and I don't know, that just kind of stuck in my head. A lot of really cool kids in that group.
Well, my story, not to cut anyone off, is
Isn't it?
the total opposite of
Okay.
that. In a kind of funny way, I guess. I don't know. I remember going to a Yankees game in May at the age of 21, and I sat in the right field bleachers, and as any Northeast fan knows, sitting at the old Yankee Stadium right field bleachers, some characters out there.
Bleacher creatures.
Bleacher creatures, yes. So me and my buddy got out there, and little did I know, my buddy, big tobacco user.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it was my first time using a tobacco product, which was called Dip Skull. And I used it, not really, anybody saw the movie, what's the kids movie? Sandlot?
Mm-hmm.
When they go on, and it was a similar outcome with
Were
mine.
you yakking all over the stage?
I was yakking in that bathroom.
He was a nature creature.
And I was in the stall, yakking my brains out, and one of the guys next to me goes, "Get it out! Get it out!"
He's supportive.
Yeah, very supportive.
Supportive.
I guess he saw this 20-year. What was that?
You hold your hair?
Yeah. I could hold my own hair there. I made sure I didn't touch that water. But long story short, yeah. So I had a little Sandlot moment in the right field stadium, Yankee Stadium right field bleachers.
So that was your best moment?
Best moment, actually. Let me also say, kids, any kids listening out there, do not touch tobacco. It's horrible for you. I actually stopped doing it my second year in pro ball. I literally cut it cold turkey. Coincidentally, it was the year Tony Gwynn passed. And not to bring the show to a lower moment, but it kind of changed my idea of those products. So don't do it at home, kids.
Good go.
But I have similar stories, not the stadium story, but when I walked onto the University of Tampa, what are you laughing at?
I don't know, anything special you throwing up, I don't know, something.
I win the starting third base job, and I'm playing baseball down in Florida. I'm a third baseman. I'm going to play on the dirt, on the grass. I'm going to be a badass. So I tried to chew tobacco. I thought, big wad, I would look like a tough guy. Went kind of like yours. I tried it on 2 separate occasions. I ended up a weird bed configuration in my dorm room, but laying on top of the back end of the bed, cold rags on my head in front of the air conditioner. Waxed me out. Oh, yeah, terrible. So I agree. For that reason, for the health issues, don't do it. Yeah.
Yep. So I think my story comes from spring training. When I was playing in college, we'd take a trip down to Florida every year during spring training, and we play. You're down there for 6-7 days, and you have one off day in the middle. It's usually you play for 2 or 3 days, have an off day, play for another 2 or 3 days. And the day before we had our off day, we had a morning game. So we got done early, and we ended up going to the Mets spring training. That's at Port St. Lucie, and our trainer, who was one of our bus drivers, was just like, found out it's off day, and he's like, we're drinking. So, and now like, we're 21 at this point, we have the day off tomorrow, we're within 24-hour rule, clear with the coach, so we're like, all right, let's have a couple beers at this game. So, find out a couple innings later, me and my friend end up by the lake that says, beware of alligators, just throwing rocks at all the bubbles that we see in the lake for like 5-10 minutes, and then we start walking back to the stadium, and we see our trainer in the car, and he's got like a piece of paper on the dashboard, and then like the wind blows, and it just blows the paper. He's got 2 tall boys sitting in there. I know what's going on.
That's a
yeah, and that was just like, it was like the moment where you work so hard all winter long, you're trapped indoors, you get your first couple games in, and it's like your first like 8 hours of freedom. And it's just like, I'm in Florida with my friends, there's baseball everywhere, and I just remember that being like, it was like euphoric moment. Like you're back to being a human being again.
Heck yeah.
Well, especially at that too, because you're in college. You're
in
early
the
for workouts.
yeah.
Baseball is a stressful environment.
You're watching everyone else go out and have fun on the weekends. Yeah.
And then you get to go enjoy it.
And we had like a couple beers, and it was like the best thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I guess one other MLB memory was when we took the boys down to the Perfect Game tournament down in Tampa.
No, we drove all the way over there.
Yeah,
We're in
that's
Fort
right. You
Myers.
drove to Tampa. That's right. Yeah, to Fort Myers, and we were playing. The JetBlue Stadium over there. We went to the Rays game because Willie had Tropicana. Willie had gotten Kurt Casale, who was with the Rays at the time, to get us on the field for pregame batting practice. So it's 3 of us, Willie, the whole team, a couple of the siblings, and Zach was with us too, right? Because didn't his favorite player come over?
Yeah, and I wasn't even thinking of that, but that was a cool moment for me. Zach loved Longoria.
Yeah.
And just out of the blue, I look over and there's Zach talking to Longoria.
I think he was wearing a Rays hat too.
Yeah,
Right? He
yeah.
got a Rays hat, and that was awesome. So, for us, we're big kids. We're on the field, like looking at these athletes at this close, and we're having a great time. The kids are obviously having a great time. And, all these players like just come walking over, and I remember Chris Archer comes walking over, and one of our players has a Yankees shirt on. Okay, so Chris Archer's like, dude, are you serious? Like, same division? Like, come on, you got the kid. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, my mom packed my bag. And Archer looks at him and goes, how old are you guys? 15. He goes, your mom still packs your bag?
And he was a big 15.
He was a big kid, big, strong 15-year-old kid, and it was something that I think I'll never forget.
Yeah.
It was pretty great. I think they heard a lot of comments like that from me that summer. So
You guys were raving about that trip.
That was
that
was
Cole Calhoun.
Cole Calhoun put on the most impressive round of batting practice. They had the Ray tank in right center field, and this guy's going for it. And when he hits it, just bat flips and walks off mid-round. He took like 2 swings at the Ray tank.
Did you guys see Pujols take any hacks?
Yeah.
Right? But Calhoun impressed us so much hitting. Simmons was throwing balls from the hole. And then who is the shortstop that was young?
Tim Beckham?
Beckham, yeah. I loved his swing.
Yeah.
He was impressive. So I don't have that youth story of going to a baseball game. I remember a guy that my mom worked at the bank with took me to Reds Yankees World Series at Yankee Stadium when I was little. That was pretty cool. But I got a few cool stories, but here's the one thing for me. So I played AA ball, didn't make it any further, and it was my dream, and it was disappointing. Nobody came up and told me. And I was bitter towards baseball for a while. I stayed away from it a little bit. I wasn't watching it, but then when I finally got over not being a player anymore and went back to the stadium, and heard the roar of the crowd when somebody went deep or somebody made that play. Man, I mean, goosebumps, shivers. That is such a cool feeling. And then one of the best moments I ever saw was, you could probably correct me, Virgil, it was 2000 playoff series, Mets versus I don't remember who, when Ventura hit that walk-off grand slam, which wasn't a grand slam because it didn't circle the bases. You remember that?
Yeah, the Grand Slam single, they call it. Todd Pratt picked him up and couldn't finish.
Yeah, everybody
they celebrated.
mauled him, didn't, so it's not a grand slam. That stadium was literally moving, man. It was the old Shea Stadium. It was unbelievable. That was a cool moment. But I will say this, and it wasn't MLB, it was NPB in Japan, October 26, 2005, Chiba-Lotte Marines. And I'll add a little tidbit to this, that we're playing in the World Series of Japan, and I was the coach that hit infield, outfield, because in Japan you take it every day, and the pop up to the catcher, as is for any of us that ever hit it, but that the big to do. And we were playing at Hanshin Tigers home stadium, and I smoked my pop up to the catcher. That all he did was turn around, stood right on the plate, and caught it right there. It was pretty sweet. And then about 3 hours later, we won the championship in Japan series, and it was the first time in all 6 years over in Japan that Bobby ever congratulated and shook my hand as a coach first after a win, because he felt like I was the American coach that he brought with me. All the other guys were Japanese coaches. He never wanted to show favoritism to me, and that was the only day he ever shook my hand. It wasn't a shake, it was a hug.
Wow.
So that was a pretty cool memory of the stadium.
Frank. Yeah, seriously, you can tell that, man.
Yeah, that was cool. And nailing pop-up helped, man. That's why we won. Actually, we broke. I think we outscored them like 36-4, swept them.
Mauled them, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. And that's the argument that a lot of people have of when one team sweeps their playoff waiting for the championship series and the other one battles through it. The Tigers swept their championship and were waiting for us to fight it out. We had it wrapped up. We had the champagne on ice playing Sarahara O's team, and they came back and beat us, and we had to go to another game and won in walk-off fun, not walk-off for at their place, but in a big come from behind victory. It was unbelievable. So, we never got out of battle mode. They were practicing for 3 or 4 days out of competition mode, and we went and walked right through them. It was fun.
What was the league called? MLB?
Yeah, the Nippon Professional Baseball. Yeah,
That's very cool.
that was cool. But and that, I guess that's why you came up with the topic today. It's a really cool experience. You mentioned the thing with Zach taking my boys. I mean, my boys had the opportunity to be in a professional stadium in Japan at a very young age. But even going here, going up to Fenway when Bobby was there, and going to Citi Field, and going to Shea Stadium, Yankee Stadium, it's a cool experience to do with young kids, and we should probably have kids in on this topic next time.
That's a great
For
idea.
sure.
Yeah,
Great idea.
For sure.
it's a wonderful thing.
Look at the game in a different light.
Yeah.
Sweet. I think this is this awkward silent moment where it's about time we wrap up.
It's over.
It's over? All right, great.
Don't forget your line this time.
Yes. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching today's episode of the BV Talk Show in the Underground Elevator Room, produced by Verge. And
if you watch this whole thing in its entirety, you need to get a life. Although I think we're kind of getting funny and entertaining. So
It's getting funnier.
it's not so bad. Still need to get a life.
still get a life, but make sure you subscribe down below, hit the like button, follow us on all our social media campaigns so that we can make sure we keep throwing this stuff at you. Thanks guys.
Peace.